Hi everyone, welcome. I've been sitting with this deck for a couple weeks now and just getting a chance to go through it. I'm really attracted to the colors and the idea of working with the ancestors. Now this is the second one, not by the same artist, but if you remember, I did an unboxing of Dia de los Muertos Oracle. And this one was by Kelly Sullivan Walden, Emily Greaves. And I have really enjoyed it, and it's been sitting on my altar. And I did notice that in it there is card number 2, Ofrenda, or Ofrenda, whatever I think Ofrenda would sound better because it's an offering, right? That's what the word means. So you do have this as another option too, if you are looking to find wisdom from the departed loved ones of yours. Now, this book and deck was put out by Blue Angel, and I did do a review on it, but I'm trying to see how the cardstock is in the new one and what the colors are like, because I do, as I say, like this deck. So let's get into this one and take a wee look. Yeah, I got some of that off there. I love the matte finishes, and I say the colors reminds me so much of the movie Coco. And I can watch that movie over and over again. Now you can see here that we are honoring past ancestors and nurturing future generations with artwork by Angelica Castro. It does have a foreword, and a lot of people brought this together. I think there was 3 actually, because Nancy Hendrickson, author of Ancestral Tarot and Ancestral Grimoire, I'm going to have to look that one up, and Carrie Paris brought out The Beloved Dead. I don't have that one. I have seen it. Relative Tarot and the Siren Song decks. Now, I did look at those, and they seem quite interesting as well. Get this back in focus. Hello, there we are. And then it talks about Angelica Castro bringing the artwork together. And so I hope the cards are really good stock. Let's dive in and see. This one says 60 cards. Now there is no thumbnail to get in. It is supposed to have a 136-page book. Ooh, let me tell you how it all began. There it goes. Let's go. If you had asked a year ago about the flight of all my souls, I would have scratched my aging head, then told you how I met the dead. The storyteller's first tale. Well, already they've got my attention. Okay, we'll put that aside. Now, the booklet sits on top, nice and snug. Reminds me of the Book of the Departed in the movie Beetlejuice. And so, oh good, we get color photographs inside. So there you have some information. It's Red Wheel Wiser that put this deck out. And we are getting some spreads in the back. It's nice that they are in color. So that one in particular, Baraja, okay. Purifying your ancestral relationships, creating a bridge in communication, what the ancestors are asking from me at this time, the message being understood, message I'm ready to receive, and an act of devotion. I'm just going to see if I can check the lighting a little bit here. Okay, we're back. Now I'm looking at more of the spreads here, and this one says altar spread. So that would have been, I guess, that one there. But wouldn't it be fabulous to have that as a cloth? Because it's really hard to read this now. So if this is a spread on its own, it would require a magnifying glass to see what each of those positions were. There's your conversation with the beloved there. Choice 1, 2. Now, a lot of people might just pull one card, you know. Because, look, there's a lot of information there. And if you're going to put it on your altar and really enjoy some time with your ancestors, probably a spread is a little bit more than you're going to need at the first. I think I will be doing one card for sure, just like in my previous deck that I showed. There's the doggy. Okay, so that looks like a really good book. Okay, now here is the box. A little bit more embellishments, but still just a simple box. You do have the little ribbon for pulling it in and out. And it does tip out nicely. And in the bottom there, you're getting some more. You are the love of thousands. Cute. All right, so these decks they're not the same in size, and that's okay. This is a little bit easier to handle. So that is quite a good selection of images, variety. And there is our back, and that will be reversible. So I like how the finger bones here resemble to me candles. And there's the offering of the flowers. How beautiful. So let's see with my other deck. Look at the size difference. So you will be able to do spreads with this one much easier than this one because of the size. Now I'm just going to get a tarot card and see how that size compares because it looks a little bit smaller. Okay, so there is my typical Rider-Waite-Smith card. And there's the size of these. Well, you know, I'm quite happy with that. No problemo there for me liking the size. So I'm just going to put these in a holder so I can balance everything here at once. And I will zoom in. I was just skimming the first card information here, and it might be quite beneficial when you're setting up your own altar. And it says this is the card that complements all other cards and all spreads. It represents the offerings left on the altar, which is the centerpiece of the day. Then it goes on to say that each offering table can be unique, telling the story of the deceased, which would be ours, something very personal. Offerings can include photos, paper flags, food, a glass of water, and other beverages, a sugar skull, candles, clothing. And then it says it's traditionally built on 3 tiers. And so we can get a little bit of that here in the illustration. The top tier is to hold the photos of the beloved dead. In the family, if the family is Catholic, you might also see an icon representing the Lady of Guadalupe, the Virgin Mary. The middle tier is for refreshing the spirits after their long journey, and there you will find food, blankets, and other items of comfort. And the bottom one holds candles, soap, and water to refresh the dead on their long journey. Now they are suggesting when working with these cards to use them face up. And the ofrendo should remain in place during your readings to remind you of all the ancestors who have lived and died for you to be blessed with life. This has a lot of good meanings to it. And then when we get to the cards themselves, it's giving keywords, the story, meanings, and it also brings in Lenormand. So if you were going to use some Lenormand spreads, there's a little indication there. So this is going to take some time to go through and really honor the book itself. But let's take a look at the cards. So there is our rider. And it doesn't have that sort of death card feel to it. It's interesting that it's enveloped in this red suit. But we can see the skeletal idea of the horse, which is kind of neat. The clover. Okay, now I get the Lenormand. I didn't know that. Ah! Okay, the clover. The ship. The house. The tree. The clouds. Well, this really is going to be a different experience. I was expecting just an oracle, and I pre-ordered this without really diving into it. And I love Lenormand. The snake. Gorgeous coffin card. And I made a point of not watching anyone's videos on this. The bouquet. The scythe. The whip. Definitely brings a little bit of playfulness to a Lenormand reading. The birds. The child. Gorgeous fox. The bear. The stars. And I don't seem bothered at all by the Spanish down here. The stork. The dog. It's interesting how the bones on the cat seem to be scattered about a little bit. Now that's an inviting garden scene for sure. It's just interesting that there's nobody on the bench. I guess that refers to sitting in contemplation with the ancestors that are no longer with us. The bench is empty. I think anyone of any age would love working with this deck. The gentleman. And the lady. Okay, we have two ladies. And two gentlemen. It's just like a scene from the movie Coco. Just fabulous. And I'm so happy that this was a pre-order for me and it actually came again. There's our lily. The sun. Moon. Key. So I don't know how many people out there use reversals when it comes to Lenormand. I think I do in a smaller spread, but not so much in the large grand tableau. And here we get the extra cards. Bring that into focus a bit better. There we go. So there is our storyteller. The guitar, which is a very key implement in Coco. The marigolds. The skull. The cemetery. I love these cards. The skeletons. Salt. And the butterfly. Let's just see what it says about the butterfly. Now I'm just noticing now that the little numbers for the card, which is super, are at the bottom on the banner. Because now we've got the butterfly, and it wasn't too hard to find it in the book. And it talks about transition, journey, transformation. If you see a butterfly under the light of a crescent moon, you know that the blessings of transformation are upon you. What was sadness becomes mirth. And like the sailors in a long-forgotten tale, you too will spread your wings before the east wind and speed away, following the path of the setting sun. So the monarch butterfly is a symbol of the time of the dead. I did not know that. The monarchs begin arriving in Mexico in October and November and are seen as the souls of the dead announcing their arrival. Now, if this card should appear in the center of your spread, It represents the long journey to true transformation. Key is your ability to be patient. Your transformation is near. Liquor. The calendar. The jaguar. Corn. La Katrina. Katrina. Always gorgeous to see her. Torn paper. The album. The candle. Love that one. The feather. Water. Bread. And we're getting down there. Freedom. Nice card to end on. So I'm just going to see what that says for freedom. Okay, card 56. Release, bondage, breaking away and letting go. Allowing the chains of whatever darkness is holding you captive and releasing them. The power is in your hands and the chains are molded only from paper. If I die, survive me with such a pure force. You make the pallor and the coldness rage. Flash your indelible eyes from south to south, from sun to sun, till your mouth sings like a guitar. Ah, well, that's well worth it. I am terrifically pleased, but they are a little slippery, I'm noticing. And so if you're shuffling, you're going to have to hang on to these babies. Now, as far as cardstock goes, might be a little disappointing for some people. It is a little bit thin. I think they might bend quite easily compared to my other ones that seem a little bit thicker. But if you're not hard on your cards, and you can hang on to them when you overhand, we'll see if we can pick one card for everybody for the day. This one, I think. Oh, liquor. So let's just see what it says. And if I look down here carefully again, there's 45. So I can quickly find card 45. And there we go. Okay, the journey from the dead is a long one. Thank you for the water and the bottle of tequila. Drink in my memory. And if you draw a liquor, which is the liquor card, is there a broken heart or a wound that needs comfort? Look deeply and you'll find where to ask the beloved dead and the gods for their help. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you have this deck and you've been playing with it, how's it working for you? Are you doing the full Lenormand with just the first cards, or are you shaking things up and using them all and maybe doing a grand tableau with everything? Fun, challenging, and great color. Enjoy your day.